Hello, my name is Claire Wallace. I'm Professor of Sociology at the University of Aberdeen, and I'm also Principal Investigator of a project about cultural tourism in Europe, which is funded by the European Commission under the Horizon 2020 programme. Our particular focus at the University of Aberdeen is just on Scotland, and particularly on Galashiels. So we're looking at cultural tourism in Galashiels, and there's two places particularly we're looking at, which is Abbotsford House, the home of Sir Walter Scott, and the Great Tapestry of Scotland, which has just opened in the centre of Galashiels.
I'm Chen Xiaoqing, lecturer in Business School, University of Aberdeen. This video is a research outcome of the Knowledge Exchange project, which is financially supported by the University of Aberdeen. In this video, we collect opinions from different stakeholders of cultural tourism in Galashiels, as well as what do they think about the future of tourism.
So I'm Councillor Ewan Jardine from Galashiels and District, but also the leader of Scottish Borders Council.
So I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about how you see tourism in Galashiels.
I see tourism in Galashiels as a growing venture. Galashiels has never been on the map, so to speak, as somewhere where you'd want to come to do it. But Galashiels has never really had a focal point of why would I go to Galashiels. It's got lots of history, lots of tradition, but one thing that's making it unique now is the Great Tapestry of Scotland building. As soon as we've got that, we've now got a focal point. We've got somewhere to people go, oh, it's not just a borders building, it's a national building. And hopefully, since it's selling the story of Scotland through tapestry, it's going to encourage people to come in. But again, it's a catalyst for tourism, it's a catalyst for culture. We've got the tapestry, we've got Abbotsford, we've got the abbeys, and it all tying into this little compartment where you can do it in a day or you can do it in a few days. Then you're talking about the streetscape changing, you're talking about the shop frontage changing. The regeneration is hopefully we get footfall in the town, people will start buying shops. So there's shops that you can't get online, certain products like a wool shop or a butcher's, etc. And it's selling that as something unique. This is really a unique part of the Galashiels, is capitalising on them, increasing the footfall for them, but also encouraging new businesses to come in. Regeneration doesn't mean you lose track of what we've been, it just means we can refresh and put forward a new spin on the town, keeping the traditions. Energised Galashiels do a great job. There's murals being painted in the town. Little things like a mural, you may not think it's much, but it just gives the town that little bit of lift. This is a focal point, it's the tapestry, but we want them also to go to Abbotsford, we want to go to down to Jedburgh, to the Jed Bridge, the old jail. We want them to go to Melrose, Kelso, Eyemouth, the whole package, so St Abs, etc. We need to start pushing forward. Actually, this is the future. This is what we are doing. We can't rely on what the past was. We had a great textile heritage, and that is one of the main pieces. One of the main reasons we've got the tapestry is because of our textile history and past, and we just need to start promoting that more as well. With the Scottish Borders, economic development is so essential, so we put on events, but we need to say, okay, we've got events, but how can we get things that are there as a staple all year round? The tapestry is one of those staples all year round, so we need to get it right, and it's one of the main parts of the master plan. The regeneration of Galashiels is focused on the tapestry building.
My name is Sandy Maxwell Forbes, and I am the Centre Director for the Great Tapestry of Scotland here in Galashiels.
I wonder if you could tell us a bit about the Great Tapestry of Scotland, what it is.
Well, the tapestry came about from the brainchild of Alexander McCall Smith. He was looking at the Preston Pans tapestry, and he thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if we had a tapestry that told the history of Scotland? What we see now is 160 panels, each about a metre square, depicting Scotland's story, Scotland's history. There are 1,000 stitches. We estimate 1,000 ladies took part in the project, as I say, from all over Scotland. There are lots of hidden little stories right through the tapestry. Andrew is very generous. Whilst Alistair was tasked with creating and breaking down Scotland's history into what would go into these panels, then Andrew would draw what the narrative that had been created by Alistair. But then he created the central part of the panel, and then what all of the stitches would do was they would then put their history into the panel as well. And so when they were doing this, they'd hide little stories or little quirks, and so there are hundreds of hidden stories right through the tapestry, and we still keep finding them, so it's great fun.
And what sort of impact do you think it's had on the town?
I think it's had a positive impact. I mean, Galashiels is not typically a tourism town. So this is the catalyst really for placemaking and for other things to develop and push the economy as part of this regeneration project. And I think the local businesses have started to see an impact, because the number of visitors we get here means that they go on into the cafes, the shops, the restaurants and spend money whilst they're here. What we do here is create a sense of place for the community, and we want them to become involved in what we do. We want to have more things for them to come. So we have a temporary gallery, and by that what we mean is it has touring exhibitions. So that'll see about 2 exhibitions a year. So we constantly change that so it's something new and fresh. We also have a great space in the Discovery Centre there, and so the space we let out for the community to have events. A joint project with Heriot-Watt University of Textile and Design, and of course this year is Visit Scotland's year of storytelling. I mean, the tapestry is just full of stories, an ideal candidate for storytelling. So what we've done is we've linked up with the Heriot-Watt University and also with the schools, and we've had a wonderful competition called A Yarn Worth Spinning, and there have been some winning students who've done some amazing designs, and again relating back to textile and what is, you know, essentially fundamentally Galashiels' history is the textile industry.
So what's the future of the Great Tapestry of Scotland then, do you think, here?
Well, the future is we continue doing more of what we're doing. We continue bringing tourism into the borders. We work hard at bringing those markets in.
Welcome to Abbotsford. My name's Giles Ingram and I'm Chief Executive of the Abbotsford Trust. The Abbotsford Trust was established back in 2007. This wonderful building, gardens and 120-acre estate, which was built by Sir Walter Scott and adapted by his descendants and generations that followed. Walter Scott was, you'll know from the history, was possibly the first person to take Scotland to the wider world and to put Scotland on the map and attract people here, starting the tourism industry. And this house behind me was probably one of the very first attractions that people paid to come and visit. Abbotsford has always been a really, really important visitor attraction in the Scottish borders. It's always been one of the main reasons that people have come to visit and stay in the Scottish borders. And tourism, in common with many rural parts of Scotland, is one of the mainstays of the economy and of employment. The Abbotsford Trust is that we are really rooted in the local community and that we provide as much benefit to the local community as we can. We see ourselves as a really, really important asset for the local community. Yes, Abbotsford and Scott's legacy is of national, international value and importance, and we have people from all around the world that come to visit. But we want to be really rooted in our local community, and we do that, yes, through our volunteering programme and our educational programme. So that encompasses a thriving volunteer scheme. So in any given year we'll have anywhere between 100 and 130 volunteers. We also invite schools and we run a schools programme. In fact, this last year has been the 250th anniversary of Scott's birth. So thanks to funding and support from donors, we've been able to provide free travel and free visits for schools in our local community, and we've had pretty much every school through the doors over the last term. Most members of the local community will probably interact with us by virtue of the fact that our estate is open, free of charge, to the local community. And you can really see over the COVID lockdown periods how that became such an important asset for people. We were a real lifeline. We used to estimate that we used to have about 80,000 people coming to walk on our paths each year. Over the last 12 months, I was counting this the other day, we had 218,000 visits onto the estate. So all of that is provided free of charge to people. What we want to do is we want to invest in experiences here at Abbotsford which will be more relevant to more people of more ages, whatever their walk of life and whatever their ability to afford days out. This year we're doing our second annual Scott Festival, which we want to become a regular annual event with jousting and knights and all themes of Ivanhoe from Scott's books and Rob Roy, cannon fire, musket fire, etc. We're going to be creating a new play experience, which we're calling Witch Corner. He wrote extensively on local folklore, he wrote extensively on Scottish mythology, elves, fairies, goblins, gnomes, witches flying through the air on broomsticks, quite literally, you'll find this in his books. So all of that is going to be coming to life in a new play area which we're naming after his drop of books in the library, Witch Corner.
Hello, I'm Mike Gray. I chair Energise Galashiels Trust, which I have done for the past 8 or so years. Energise Galashiels Trust originated in late 2014 when a group of volunteers came together, and what we were trying to do was help regenerate our town and create a more welcoming, vibrant town centre. We've been developing larger scale regeneration programs to make the public realm look more attractive and look more interesting. And it's part of what's available to visitors and tourists in the Scottish borders, because close by us we have Abbotsford, the home of Sir Walter Scott. In Melrose there is Melrose Abbey, and last year the opening of the Trimontium Museum. We've got Old Gala House, which in itself is a museum and the oldest house in the town. So it's a case of promoting and attracting. Part of the things that Energise Galashiels is doing is we manage and develop the Galashiels Heartland of the Borders online platforms. So we have the websites, Facebook pages and Instagrams, and that's where we're promoting local businesses who join as members. Individuals can join as members, and the local businesses can publicise, promote their goods and services both to the local community and to those visitors coming into the town. And there's an appreciation that the tourism and visitor market is important for Galashiels and for the Scottish borders, but we also believe it's actually fundamental. It's important that we get our town centre vibrant for our local community as well, so they recognise and can celebrate the heritage and the history that we have in the town. And from an Energise Galashiels point of view, if you walk around the town, you'll see that in some of the vacant premises, we have displays, both Great Tapestry of Scotland displays, but also displays of Sir Walter Scott, with some of the extracts from his writings and his poems. So the link to Sir Walter Scott is very important to Galashiels. Another link from Galashiels to Abbotsford, to Sir Walter Scott, to history, and to all the important things that he did. Here in Galashiels we have our annual Brawlads gathering, and across all of the border towns they have, most of them are called common ridings. So this is an annual festival. You've got fancy dress parades, you've got horse riding, and you're celebrating the traditions of the town. It's important that we remember where we've come from and what our history is, and we both commemorate it and celebrate it.
Hello, this is Claire Wallace again, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video about cultural tourism in Galashiels. If you want to know more about our project, you can find us on social media, and you can also look at the website to find out more about our project. If you want to contact us, you can contact me anytime with any comments or observations. Thank you very much. It was good to meet you.